Well, that was a fun experiment. Glad I caught that before it got too bad. Hello, everybody. This is Frogman. Welcome back to Manufactio. We kind of had a little bit of fun last episode building a circuit or a module factory. And my dumb self didn't bother to take into account that the production that we're currently making can't support what I did. Oh, I need a few of these in order to be able to do some things. But yeah, that was interesting. Let's go take a look. So, last episode, we were playing around with building modules, and modules are rather circuit intensive. Let's just do it that way. Modules are rather circuit intensive, and it's one of those things. I remember back when we did the Circuit Factory episode, how I kind of dug a calculator out and started saying, well, we're going to need so many modules, we're going to need so many circuits, we're going to need all this stuff. Just one efficiency module 1 requires 5 basic control circuits, and again, another 2 per each one of these. So, yeah. Every one of these guys. Yes, I changed them all out to the advanced systems, and yes, they all have speed module 3s, and yes, they all have efficiency module 3s. Kind of broke the factory doing this. I did get these things fixed. They're working now. For whatever reason, it's literally just because of the fact that my world is so busy. Well, I have to occasionally do a few little silly things with these. As you notice, I have these occasional disconnects here. What I have to do to fix the problem, and I think we're actually just one channel short from being completely done. What I have to do to fix the problem when that does this is I have to reload the world. So I programmed all of the interfaces up with the various things that they need, and I thought I shut you guys off. You all should be not working. Why are you doing things? Anyhow, I have to shut these, I have to program the interfaces to the way that I want things or whatever that I'm working on. So like the, let's see, where are they? The export buses here as well. I have to program these, and then I have to shut the world down and then bring the world back up so that it reloads all of the stuff in the ME interfaces, or the ME systems, and then it works. So it's probably just due to the fact that I am doing so much subnetting and so much things in this world that the system just doesn't want to recognize that they're there. And a reload or a, restart, reboot fixes all of the problems. Breaking and replacing the controller sometimes fixes the problem, but sometimes not. Now, I know that I can put things in here into this ME interface, which this is the system pointing back towards the main system, but the problem then becomes that at times that will force this system to only see the items that I place in here and not fill things like this up. And I have way more than 9 items on this wall and way more than 9 items on this wall, which would mean I would have to do another interface and another storage bus and another blah blah blah, and that kind of messes with the system. So we just restart, reload. So on to the silliness that is why the Circuit Factory is not doing well. I came in here and this was dead. There was nothing happening hardly at all, and I got to looking, and as you can see, I've added a few more item buses up here, or item ducts with a few more of these servos on that interface. The reason why we are suffering so badly is right there. Now granted, yes, I'm out of plastic again, which is not a humongous problem. I can go fix that. The reason why we're suffering is because of copper wire. Because of copper wire. Remember this monster we built in a time lapse many moons ago? And excuse me one second, let me do this. This is no longer fast enough. I even went as, good lord, I thought I turned that down. Where is the machines? Is it machines? Where's machines? Machines. Blocks. Let's do that. Thank you. That's a little better. I even went so far as to add in an advanced assembler with some speed modules and a thing in it to try to make some kind of backlog. So copper wires here, as we know, we can make them in assemblers if you give it a metal press. However, it is not as efficient. And with an advanced assembler with a speed module 1 or speed module 2 or whatever in it, they really can fly. I mean, the reason why you're seeing so much stuff happen right there is because it's making wire 1 every 4 ticks. So that's literally basically what's keeping the system running right now. So we're definitely having problems. We're starving for copper plates. We're starving for copper wire. We're starving right here for that issue. That's the problem. The system in here, and I know it's kind of framey and laggy today because of the fact that this has been running pretty hard and we have a lot of nasty in here. We're kind of keeping up with the copper. Kind of keeping up. Now, there's, like I said, there's 40,000 fixed copper in here, and each one of these can process this stuff in a hurry. So we're kind of keeping up right here. That's like, what is that? Like a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds to process copper out of all of those guys. So we're okay, I think, here. The idea is that I'm going to try to probably have to advance this system as well. We're going to have to make it a lot bigger. I think the smelting is going to be okay for a while, and if nothing else, I can augment it with some smelting factories, and I need to put a brick right there. So, with that all in mind, we have a solution that I've already tested in the test world, and I want to thank Golrith for this little addition to play with, and hopefully it gets into the next update, but I get to test something. There is a new wire recipe, and it's over here in the lathe. 1 copper rod gives me 2 copper wires at a power of 220 RF a tick in time of 3 seconds. Now, this is the base model speed, meaning the basic motor in the lathe. How do we get copper rods, you ask? Well, copper rods, you can either craft them as such, or you can put them in a lathe. Again, it's copper to 2 copper rods. Can you see that there? This is a considerably more efficient process on copper ingots. So 1 copper ingot makes 2 copper rods, and 2 copper rods makes, or 1 copper rod makes 2 copper wires. So that's 4 copper wires for 1 iron ingot compared to the current process where it's 1 copper ingot for 1 plate and 1 copper plate into 2 rods. So guess what we're building today? Yep. Whole lot of lathes. I did some testing in a test world, and I kind of built a little system that we have to go with, and it made about 1,000, excuse me, where is my number calculator? Where are you? It made right around 2,000 copper wires in a minute. So we're going to have fun with that. What we need to do today is I'm going to have to do a little bit of derping around off camera real quick to get prepped for it. But I did go ahead and plug in, let's go over here and look at this. Did go ahead and plug in a few recipes that I need in order to be able to make this work, because every single one of these is going to get an elite motor. If I can spell. Elite motors, as we can see here, up the speed times 4. So that means instead of 3 seconds, it's about a second and a half, second-ish per craft. So, yeah, they're going to be a lot more fun. And I did do a little bit more testing as well as, you know, for the test world, it's kind of my test world's not humongously TPS or laggy intensive, but it was considerably nicer than those things are versus the frames and the TPS. So I'm going to be looking forward to doing this. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to jump over to a test world, and we're going to explain what we're going to do, and then I will go off camera for a little while and build a bunch of parts so that we can put it together. So I will be right back. Alrighty, so we're in the test world where I do all of my silly fooling around with, and I've been kind of fiddling with this in here, or at least this idea, and because of the way those ratios work, this is a pretty simple design, very simple, very easy design, because 1 lathe can make 2 rods, and well, that means I can directly input into the top of 2 more lathes to not have to worry too much about the ratios. So what's really really simple, like I said, is that's pretty much the setup. You just, I mean, you can put these however you want to. You can lane them out. You can make a single line for the lathes that make the rods. You can do various things, but this is going to be what we're going to be building. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. It's going to cost me a lot of parts and a little bit more, I should say a lot more RF a tick, but whatever. It's about 60, what did I figure, 60? Those things use about 160 RF a tick. These guys use 220 per, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but here's the thing. This setup right here is 21 lathes. 21 lathes will produce a considerably amount more wire than the 30 metal presses we currently have doing the process. 30. Now there's a reason why I'm doing this, because it's honestly, the problem is these guys. For one, they make pollution. For two, they're slow, and they get really slow as the TPS starts to drop, because of the fact there's so many automations, and we know how bad the automations are, or I should say animations and things like that. We know how bad these are. These are definitely a lot better, because if I do a profile on these while they're running, I don't see any red. I barely see yellow in all of these. Occasionally I can profile these guys and see a whole stack load of red. So it's not like it's a terribly more harder thing to build. They also back stuff. Every one of these systems, they have inputs, they have outputs, inputs up here that can back stuff. So I don't have to do any fancy redstone control on this, which means the controller upstairs that's running all of those guys, they're running the presses right now, I don't need it anymore. I can actually rip that entire ME system out of my network and just use pipes, because they're really not all that bad, considering it's just going to be a run of input and run of output, if I really so choose. So just to test this thing for very much fun, turn it on. There's the lag time for the initial everybody goes holy cow. And watch this. If that's not fast enough, you just put 2 more down there, or 1 more per set. Look at this. We've been talking, we already got 500 of them. But like I said, the beauty is these interfaces, they'll back stuff. So this thing will fill up this whole deal. If I fill up a bin over here, so like if I go grab a regular bin, so let's just get a bin, just get one of these regular old advanced bins and talk for a second. We're almost already full on one. So we'll just let it fill it up. When it's done, everybody backstuffs. No items thrown in the world. Everything shuts off. It's excellent. And it looks good too. I like this model. It's a really neat looking model. This is a cool model. This is a cool model. It's awesome. I know we're kind of sitting here waiting on this. I'm going to kind of let it fill up. But we're going to have an advanced bin full of wires here in less than 2 minutes. Or about 2 minutes, I should say. I don't even need you anymore, brother. Oh, this is what I want. And like I said, if it's not fast enough, I can just put more down. Now, the ratios are going to be just a little off, because of the lag time it takes for something to get out of this lathe into these 2 guys. And I have every one of these set to round robin, so it'll pick one and send it one way and pick one and send it the other. So yeah, it's probably about done. It is done. So now we watch all these guys back stuff. Inputs down here. So these will fill up full of wire, which, yes, that's a kind of a bad thing. We'll have quite a lot of backlog of copper wire sitting in here. But again, I don't really think that's a problem. I think if I do anything, I may regulate the amount of copper that sits in here using filters if I use this process. But it's copper. The only real problem that I have with these is that it's not using up these little stacks sitting right here, so they're just sitting there. So I may just block those off with a little bit of like cobblestone or something. Can I put cobble in there? I haven't even tried it. Get some dumb stuff, dude. There we go. But I think if I just do this and this and this, we don't waste the copper. So I can waste a filter right here, or I can put some little stuffing blocks in here. So that means I'll have a backlog, or at least a backup, of 4 stacks of copper wire per machine down here, and it will back stuff up here, 4 stacks of copper rods up here. So when the thing fires off, if I need some, that's awesome. So I figured I would show you guys this. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. It's not hard. I mean, the power is going to run a little bit differently in the base. It's going to come down from the roof to these guys. But we need to go ahead and get back to the main world. We need to create a capsule for these guys, and we need to get to crafting them, because this should be pretty simple, pretty easy, and hopefully solve my copper wire problem. So, well, let's go back to the main world. Well, now, with all of that done, and hopefully that worked out as well as I wanted it to, we now have a nice, fresh, clean area to build in. And this is going to be a little bit of fun. The lag is kind of gone now. The frames are going away, getting back up to where they need to be. It's because the factory has stopped, because I have used up all of the copper and copper wire that we had. Now, I want to do a little explaining here as to what's going on with this mess. So if you notice, and this is something that I'm considering a major bug in either the thermal expansion process, this thing. Now, if you notice, I have efficiency 5, smelting, and fortune 3 on that diamond hammer. And you for sure can tell I got way more back in plate presses than the 15 plate presses and the 15 wire molds than I did. So there's a few of them right there. There's a box full. And there's another box full, and there's some more over here. This is a bug. Not that I care, because it's just a bunch of steel, and I will be throwing every one of them away except for the initial 15 of each that I got, so that I can just make them back into EMC probably. So I know that I spoke with Golrith on this, and I know that this is a thing. I know it. I've known it for a while, and I'm pretty sure I've spoken about it in the Discord a couple of times. I don't know where the bug is because of the fact that I did not try this with a straight-up hammer without any enchantments on it. So, yeah, that's a thing. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to break my heart. It's, literally just a ton of iron for that matter. All these are is a ton of iron. I mean, metal presses, molds. If you look at that one, that's just a lot of iron because it's just a lot of steel. So I'm not really tripping on it. It's just, if you go sitting there breaking a metal press just to try to get a whole bunch of plate molds, just make steel. Seriously. Who cares? It's not hard. I mean, that's why I have that steel automation plant on the other side over here. So, rant over. We have all of the parts that we need to craft 21 lathes. So if I grab all of the lathe parts, there is the lathe actual controller. We need inputs. So we need 21 input hatches. We need 21 power input hatches, or plugs. I need an output, 21 of those. I need 42 of the regular machine blocks, so we should have plenty of those. It made way too much because there was some extra stuff going on anyway. And you were supposed to have crafted... Why is my elite motors not working? Where did my elite motors go? I told you to craft elite motors. I thought I told you to craft elite motors. No, I just want 21. Oh, yeah, that's right. We didn't get quite all of it done, but for the most part, that won't take very long. What I'm going to do now is we need to set up a capsule for this because I'm not building all of these by hand. So let's get our capture base, and we need a capsule of around a 5x5. I want to do a 5x5 because I know it could all probably fit in a 3x3. We're going to do just a little bit bigger than normal. So I should be able to... Thought I could craft these. Oh yeah, I have to do that, don't I? So we can make an empty capsule. Where is my... Why can't I craft these? What's going on? Unlabeled capsule. Empty capsule. I want to be able to craft one. There we go. Can I craft this one? Yes, I'm just blind. Okay. Do I have all that sitting in there? No. So we need a chest, which I should be able to craft. So make 10 of them. And a button. Did he make a stack of buttons? There he goes. Now he's got a stack of buttons. He's got 2 stacks of buttons. Good deal. Not that I really worry about it. Capsule. I want the 5x5 right there. So we'll back up a page. And you. Thank you. Now we're going to build this in a reasonably nice looking fashion. So I'm going to leave out the item ducts at this point, just because testing in my test world, I kind of had problems with the item ducts capturing correctly. So let's get aluminum scaffolding because it looks pretty. And I will grab a little bit more. I hope I have enough of that. If not, there's some more upstairs. And I want to do that. All right, so let's grab some of these parts pieces that we have and go out here and build this thing. So I'm going to, I guess we can just do the capsule in the ground right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it facing that way, just in case because I've had problems. I was having problems in the test world with rotating this assembly. So I'm going to build it the direction I want it to face, which is I want the outputs and the inputs facing this way and the power plug to be on the back. So this is a really, really simple structure. It's not hard at all to build. So I need the power plug here, and I want the machine structures right here. And I think you should be able to capture all of this, right? If I hold that over there, yes, good deal. Alrighty then. So the inputs are on the top, the outputs are on the bottom. So output, input. Where is my power plugs? Power plugs are right there. Lathe controllers go like so. And maybe we should have at least 1 or 2 of those motors made by now, probably. We have all 21. Beautiful. Let's get that off the bar and bring this down. And I believe they go right there. So if I want to test this, I can do this. All right, cool. So I do want to unform the block. I want to make sure that it is not in a formed position because it will cause a copy problem. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do now is just as for pretty, I'm going to do something like this and something like this. And I did not want that block there. And we're going to build the next one right on top of this scaffolding, just so that it looks pretty. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just connect those 2 for now. Let's see, 2 of the machine structure blocks. I need an output on the bottom, an input on the top. Make sure I'm facing the right way when I place this. there, and the motor, like that. Now, if I click on every one of those controllers, they should all form just perfectly fine. And this will allow me room to be able to pull things in and out of these hatches. So we should, with any luck, I need to put that away. Here, do me a favor. Get out of my inventory. I'm tired of looking at you. Goodbye. Up. There we go. With any luck, this should capture all of that with a little bit of block space. So if this works, I can remodify this later on and put a little bit, or modify this and put the item ducts and the other conduits and whatnot, the other item ducts and whatnot in it. But let's go ahead and capture that. So click, go. Thank you. And we're going to label this lathe, copper, wire. Done. Now we're going to go make a reusable capsule out of this. So again, I should only really need to do a couple of things to do this. I take these. I need one of those buttons that I made. Lapis. And some paper. That goes right there. Now that should make a reusable capsule for this system. And you are not going to be very happy about something. Why are you not happy? This is what I was concerned about, is that some blocks are not supported in blueprints, ignored in the blueprint. Wonderful. You don't like any of that. That means I have to handcraft every single one of these, don't I? This worked in the test world. And I don't know why it worked in the test world. So how much stuff did you actually get to put down? That sucks. Oh, damn it. Don't do that. Oh, crud. Put it down. Oh, this is a problem. This is the problem. That is, I don't know whether it's the capsules mod or just the way things are working at this point, because I did manage to get it working if I formed the blocks. So let's grab this guy, and we'll just throw that one in the trash here in a second. Oh, I need to get rid of those. Let's put you back down on the base. Is that where it went? Yeah, I know. You're going to time out on me. Which direction is that facing? Why does it look like it's rotated? I guess it doesn't really matter if it's rotated. Okay, are we still on the base? Kind of. No. Let me pick you back up. Place. There. You're still not doing what I want you to do. Hey. Place. There. Okay. Now, the one thing that I did test, and this is the goofy thing, it may work, it may not, is I'm going to form these blocks. And this is the problem. I want them to face that way. I can't rotate this once I do this. So we're going to recraft this, and we're going to see if this works. Give me it. Otherwise, I got to build all of these by hand, and that's going to be okay. It's just we're not going to do that on camera. So I'm going to put you in here, lathe and copper wire, and again, it does not like any of the parts at all, does it? Yeah, it's even worse at this point. So it must be something to do with the interaction with the mod. Beautiful. That means I get to build every single one of those by hand. So I will get to work on that. That's absolutely awesome. Where's my... There is no trash can. There's no trash can? There's no trash can. Well, there's a way of making things go away. Where is the door to the workshop? There is a way of making things go away. Goodbye. Goodbye. So let me get onto that and we'll see what we can do. So we have to figure out the general idea of what we want in here then. So these are going to be, I think, about the same size actually. They're going to be pretty close to the same size of what's going on in here. So let's do this. We'll just build one or two of these on camera then. So I think I'm going to space this. I'd like a space in between them just so you can kind of walk between them, I guess. So 1, 2, that. This actually will look pretty decent, I think. So output hatches are on the bottom. Scaffolding will go right here and right there. The motors, man, my inventory. Motor, controller, there and there with another block here. And I need a power input there. And a power, these are right here with the controller. Another motor. And one of those in the input hatches here, and there. And I need to click on those. And I think I like that. I think this looks pretty decent. It fits in here very nicely. And we have plenty of space to build plenty more of these. I mean, there's still a floor up here if we really need to. I've contemplated taking that floor out a couple of times. So just as a repeat, I think I want to add, it's going to cover up that block, isn't it? That's an output hatch. Output hatch, not an input hatch. Output hatch. 1, 2. Just going to put these down real quick and take a look and see if I like the idea or if I want to stack them next to each other. Because that would be, let me see, output, 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 output. So there's still a little bit of room down here for some more. So I might just go nuts and craft a few more. But I will get this built off Camry because you guys already got at least 2 or 3 time lapses today. So, and we'll come back once they're done. So I will see you in a little bit. Hey, what you are in, yeah, I'm stuck in between things. All right, let's click on these little controllers and get the rest of these guys up and going. Click, click, click. Yes, I know I'm going to have to turn them all on too. That's perfectly fine. But how does that look? I think that'll work nicely. I really do. And I have enough room for at least, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more on that line. And then if I have to, I can start down here, or I can go up there. And you still didn't work because I tried it twice. But we have lots of room now for some serious wire production. And I'm excited about this. So let's get it wired in. Where did I do with all those item ducts? There's a few right here. And we need a bunch of goodies. Where is my ender chest? Ender chest, come here, please. We need the redstone one right there, since that makes the most sense. And I need to clear up a little bit of space in my inventory. We're going to bring you down. We're going to grab some signalum servos here. And I want to, let's see, we're going to need to probably make a whole bunch more of this, because I'm going to need a lot of that. So let's grab a little bit more item ducts here. Fortunately, this might work in a few places. We might be able to get by with changing out a little bit of this, but let's go ahead and do this. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and do it and just see how ugly laggy it is. We're going to, I think I have just enough filters at this point. We're going to change the way this is going to work. We're only going to be using a storage bus and a, let's see here. I need an interface, one interface, please. We have the storage bus upstairs. I'm going to have to rebuild the copper presses for sure, but I don't need near that many copper presses. I mean, we do not need that many copper plates. So for that matter, any recipe that I need copper plates for at this point, which I think is just this one, possibly, I might just add this to my auto crafting system in the regular AE, because I don't need a lot of copper, or at least copper plates. There's no point in making a lot of them. So how I'm going to do these is we're going to do something about like this. We're going to place a item duct right there in the center. because this is the output and this is the input. And we're going to grab servos and we're going to smack servos on every one of these. And we're going to set it to ignored and round robin because I want it to do this one and then that one and this one and then that one. So we're going to do that. Nope. Nope. That. Doing it again. I've been having to use random on these at occasional, especially if we have lots of different things that connect to various things. So like the original problem that I was having when I was using these to make the base actually function was that at times they would get stuffed if I used round robin because the next one in line would be full, so it would sit there and wait on it. So sometimes if round robin doesn't work, use random. In this case, we're not going to worry about it. So I think we don't have access to the ME system right here easily. I ended up running that cable all the way up through there. So the initial point to import this stuff is going to be right there. Okay, well that won't be so bad. So that means I can direct the output to the center of the room. Sort of, kind of like so. Just run this all the way down the line. That should work, and that means I can place the bin that we are going to be using, which is that one. You have copper wire in you already, good deal. So we're going to go ahead and place that bin right there. And then I can hook up the storage bus that I have right here. And we're going to say extract only, because this time we're not going to be able to do anything with it, and we want to make sure that that is set to copper wire. We'll grab a little bit of stuff. What did I do with that stuff? There we go. I might have to get a little bit more of that cable. Do I have any more of that glass cable? I do have quite a bit. Good deal. Okay. Let's go out here. And up here. And I need to use an interface. I'm going to just do this. I think we're just going to do this. We're going to put this right here. I know I've got all this fancy AE stuff, and I've got plenty of things to do, but I'm going to just do this right there. And I need some copper, which I don't know. Did that one possibly... Let's go get a piece of copper here real quick. Copper. Let's do a full stack of copper. Full stack of copper. Boop. And we do that. And I don't want to see this on the interface. That's perfectly fine. And I need that cable. So we're going to run this cable down here. And then we're going to run this cable up. And I'll have to get rid of that one because I'm not going to use it anymore. Thank you. I may have a line right below here. We'll have to do a little bit of examination on that process. Those should start going away here very shortly. This is probably going to be the problem that I have normally where the AE system doesn't want to listen to me. Channel online, device online. There those go. Alrighty then. So we can test this process. And I think since we have a whole bunch of leftover filters, we're just going to do this. I'm going to keep a stack of an item in the system here. And we're just going to set these two guys up real quick, because these two should function just perfectly fine once we hook up a couple of servos and a little bit of power. We can hear the plate presses downstairs going to work, making iron plates. All right, so all I need to do here is this, round robin, this, round robin, turn it on. What are you doing? There we go. There we go. Now, I have a little bit of signal and flux ducts on us, so let's go light these guys up. Hopefully, this is not going to be too much of a royal pain to do. So, I'm going to put the quantum entangle porter for the power right there. And I have a few signal and flux ducts. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do something kind of like this. I'm going to run this probably all the way down to the end of the building on both sides, and then we'll just use hardened flux ducts on these, or even for that matter, I think leadstone will work, just to save on a little bit of power. But I would like to at least fire these two guys up. Oop, too far. For right now, I would like to just light these guys up and let them go to work. You go. You go. You go. Same over here. And I'm probably stuck in here, aren't I? Dang it. Oh, where did my funny toy go? Where did my toy go? Uh-oh, I gotta go find a toy. It's gone. That's cool. Well, I guess I got an axe. I can cut a hole through the floor. Why are you filling these up? These are output hatches. Oh, my dear goodness. Okay, well, we're being stupid. Don't. Don't. Those are output hatches. Whatever. Silly thermal. Come on. Go. Go. Get rid of all that stuff. Get it out of that box. Cool. All right, so that's just 3 of them running. Or I should say 6 of them running, so we're making a reasonable amount of stuff at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and finish wiring all these up, and we will come right back. There it goes finally. Did you see that little bitty burst of stuff? That means we're catching up. Finally. Either the circuit factory is stopped, which I don't believe it is, or we're finally catching up. Let's go over here. Oh my dear Lord, that looks wonderful. Flow, my friends, flow. Ah, that's numbers I like to see. I need to figure out why the plastic is messed up, but that's numbers I like to see. Go up. And we're gaining. Cool. Let's go figure out what's wrong with the plastic. Down. Down, 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 down. Why is the plastic not working? I was planning on making a different plastic setup this episode, but that didn't happen either. So let's see. Is my plastic not here? Why is he not here? Uh-oh. Did I lose the right minecart? Or we're probably to the next point that's broken. We're to the next point that's broken, isn't it? Yes, we're to the next point that is broken. Missing input item. Why are you out of coal? Why are you out of fuel? Oh, wow. Okay. Is there some fuel right here? Yes, there is. We definitely need to hook this process up into the system. That is for sure. This needs to get wired in like now. There we go. Okay. Well, that's going to be the next step. This is the fun part about building a mess of stuff that is going to create a whole lot of nasty things for you. How full are you? You are not very full at all. So plastic, plastic, plastic is going to be the next step. But I think for right now, I've been having too much fun rolling my R's today. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's another one of those things. For right now, we're going to go up here and try to get a decent non-framey picture of that. Actually, I think I might go on the other side over here and look down. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And I think I'm going to call it an episode, guys. If I get to where I think this is not enough, I'm going to make more of them. I think that's pretty cool. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.